We're not leaving! Still keep going!
Look around on the sea's abundance, everything that I need to supply. You're my friend, my shelter provider, the only one who lifts me higher. When I cry, you console me, always there, never leaving me. Who am I that you love me like you do? I'm blessed to be a blessing to somebody else. I'm blessed to be a blessing. I'm blessed to be a blessing.
Hi there, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, 10th anniversary on the Party Show with Agyemang. We're going to start off a different show. With the first half, we're going to talk. It's the Michael 2026 film and The Devil Wears Prada 2. I'm your host, Agyemang, and thanks for tuning in by clicking this video, by liking this video, and subscribing to this channel, The Party Show with Kwabena, Agyemang. Well, hope you enjoyed the weekend, and let's get on to the news update with entertainment. And I did see Michael last week in the early access on IMAX in the Cineplex Cinema Mississauga Square One, and I really enjoy it. And I enjoy dancing, and I learned the story of Jackson 5, where they started as a little, and then performing with Jackson 5 during the tour, and now Jackson 5 recreates their new album with the Jackson 5, the band, and Michael did the unthinkable. And now, throughout the years, Michael Jackson grew up, and now he's continuing his solo career without the Jacksons. And doing this by performing this song, Thriller, and and it was really, really good. This iconic moonwalk dance during the 25th Motown Records under Universal Music Group, and he did the moonwalk. And Joe Jackson was seen on television, did that. But by the way, Joe Jackson played Coleman Domingo, which, by the way, he did a very, very great job. Very great job. He could have won the Oscar in one of these films. Well, in the Best Actor, yeah, it ended up with Michael B. Jordan, The Sinners, as a winner of Best Actor. So, Joe Jackson played Coleman Domingo, and what Joe is doing is, continue misbehaving in a bully way, like messing Michael Jackson beat up, not in a good way, and Joe Jackson not looking Michael's eyes to his dad, and that's the problem. But Michael Jackson continue his struggle in his music career with the Jacksons, and his solo, and yeah, he did it. They did with with the music management is John firing Joe Jackson with the new music manager John, played by Miles Tyler. Yeah, and Michael done his success making music in creating writing new songs and hosted on the records, mixing and taping before goes out throughout the public in the world. And now with the incident, Michael Jackson caught on fire during the Pepsi commercial in 1984. That fire happened. That fire happened. And then it was taken by a hospital. Yeah, Michael Jackson changed forever. Changed forever with the incident happened. Now Michael Jackson continues to heal with his damaged hair. With Michael Jackson's hair was damaged, and he continues his recovery, healing this hair by a fire, which is by the pyro was way too much. It, with too many explosions, like a fireworks. And they did 6 times. By the way, 6 times of the Pepsi commercial. 6 times in the stage, promoting his world tour of Michael Jackson and Jackson 5s. So he continues his recovery, and now he wants to go back to world tour with the Jacksons, where Michael Jackson's scaled back down and reunited the Jacksons, and now with the world tour in LA. And now Michael Jackson left on his last tour with the Jacksons before part ways with the Jackson 5 and Joe Jackson. Michael left, pursued his own solo career, performing in England, London, UK, in the biggest stage in 1988. No, it's 1988, not 1998. It's 1988 in London, England, United Kingdom. Performing. You know what I feel? I'm bad. Who's bad? That's he did it. And now the end of the film, his story continues. So, Michael Jackson, the film 2026, I give a rating 8 out of 10. Brilliant. And the sequel of Michael Jackson depends on the future. They got the green light by the Lionsgate Film and Universal Pictures. They're going to start off early development before filming by the end of this year, 2026. So, 8 out of 10. One amazing film. So, feel free to go dance go crazy and have fun and rewatch this film whenever you want in a Simplex, AMC, and Cineworld in the UK, US, and Canada. So, what a mind blowing, spectacular film of Michael Jackson's career, the late, great of Michael Jackson, played by Jafar Jackson, the nephew of the Jackson family, will be so proud. Executive producers and director Antoine Fuqua was a director from Training Day. He had the vision and the dream of filming this. That that adds the resume for his director career since the Training Day was an outstanding film. Well, 8 out of 10 for Michael, and better than the critics. 8 out of 10 was magnificent. Okay, people. Now the second one is The Devil Wears Prada 2. I watched on last Thursday, on April 30th, before beginning the end of this month of April into May 2026, the fifth month. What I did watch is Annie Sachs in the journalism, someone popping off the phone that the head of the office was fired, and Annie Sachs accepting his award, and Annie was very upset and goes profanity of losing the job. This man, he worked for years and now being fired. This company change. It changes to the head of the the writing is on the wall. Employers are very worried about this man, why he got fired and got booted out of this company. And now Andy left and she returned to Runway after 20 years. Remember Andy Sachs got received call by Miranda, and now during the Paris, she threw the phone into the fountain and she left the job and go for news journalism in the office like New York Times or something like that in the building. And he worked Runway for a year and a half before she left the job. And pursuing on different company is the newspaper writing about the article throughout the stories in New York better than fashion. So writer editor, it's good for Andy Sachs. And 20 years later, she left and returned to Runway. How much she misses Nigel and Miranda. They're all here. And the building in the Runway magazine, this building has changed. Something new. The old set into a new office set looks incredible. Also, Simone Ashley was new to assistant and played by Bridgerton. You know her. She did a fantastic job. She did a fantastic job. Give credit to Simon Ashley for making this film. Simon Ashley, yeah, I give her credit. So as returning, Emily Blunt is back. Emily Charlton. Emily left the runway and got the job in Christian Dior. So these guys are back. Andy, Miranda, Nigel, and Emily. They're both back together, discussing the future of runway. Now with the jobs on the line, is very close to verge of losing everything, cutting jobs, and this man sets up a meeting of discussing the merger of the runway company, which they're heading, because the financial and the declining of Runway magazine continues to fall apart and on the verge of sort of bankruptcy. No, it's not a bankruptcy. It's sorts of losing their jobs. Everything will gut it, and they will cut everything. Assistants, writers, editors are going to be losing their jobs if that's the case is going to happen. But Annie says wants to save the runway when yeah Annie says is coming to rescue to save the runway, and Nigel got the plan is to make this happen in a runway show in Milan, Italy. The runway in Milan, thanks to Nigel and the ambitious and creativity of this fashion, bringing up supermodels everywhere in the world to perform this, to make money success for Runway, to save Runway. This fashion office needs saving. And now, with the massive success of Runway's show in Milan, Miranda handed the keys to Nigel as she led the head of this company, and before the end of this film, and the future runway has saved by this man officially merger approval with the billions of dollars. Now it's now it's been sold to a different company. So the runway is safe. The jobs were safe, and they are very happy. They officially promoted to the next level of runway, and good for them. So Andy Sachs remains in the company. Andy Sachs is not going to leave runway anywhere after the journalism head of office was fired, and Andy Sachs left that company and returned to runway after 20 years, reuniting Nigel, Miranda, and Andy. Yes, the gang is back, and the ambition, the creativity, the future of runway made dreams come true. Yes. Everybody congratulated on new promotion on their job after the merger is officially approved and saved this company by this man. And so is Andy. So the future of Runway will continue, where Devil Wears Prada 3, the sequel, will be in the question in the future that people are talking. In the comments, in the discussion, or anywhere else, if that's possible for many years to come. All right, people, the Devil Wears Prada 2, this rating I give 9 out of 10. Ladies and gentlemen, 9 out of 10. And it's the box office with $233 million. And now it's number one movie in the world. And now with the Michael biopic film, you guessed it, $400 million in worldwide, with the fourth highest biopic film in 2026. And now with Devil Wears Prada 2 and Michael are collation to show who's the best films that people are spending this box office performance. $233 million Devil Wears Prada 2 and $433 million on Michael Jackson. They are both number one movie in the worldwide. Both of them. And it's a win-win. Win-win for the audience, win-win for the fan base, and win-win-win for the film companies like 20th Century Studios under Disney and Lionsgate and Universal Pictures for the Michael Jackson, Michael 2026. And they are enjoying it. They got the money, what they deserve, in paid to the actors, the crews, and the directors. They finally deserve a box office successful performance. And the marketing is all over the place. All over the place, man. So if you want to watch it again, Michael and Devil Wears Prada 2, they're now number one movie in the worldwide, both of them. It's on Cineplex, AMC, and Cineworld. And when it comes on Blu-ray, DVD, or on streaming, I can rewatch it and again and again and again. All right. We'll be right back on the second half as we continue with the sports update, the Blue Jays, the playoffs with the Raptors, Edmonton Oilers, Buffalo Sabres, and the Montreal Canadiens. And secondly, the FIFA World Cup is under 40 days away before it hits next month. So find out on the second half on the Brian Show with Kwabena and Agyemang right after this. And thanks for watching for the first half. See you back in a few minutes.
I'm blessed to be a blessing. So blessed to be a blessing. Oh, I am blessed. So blessed to be a blessing every day.
Welcome back to the second half on the Pie Show with Kwabena and Agyemang on this episode 10th. In this episode, and we're in the second half. Let's get on to the sports update during the playoffs, the NBA playoffs, and the Stanley Cup playoffs, and the Blue Jays. Yes. Start with the playoffs. Toronto Raptors. Well, Cleveland Cavaliers wins the series by a score of 114 to 102. 4-3 Cleveland Cavaliers wins the series and move on to second round. As for Raptors, they're going home in elimination with a 102 loss to the Cavaliers. And the season ends for the Raptors, and it was a good ride for the Raptors, but it's not the way to end the season like this with 4-3 loss series to the Cavaliers with a 114 and 102 win by Cleveland in home base for Cleveland Cavaliers. So, Raptors and Raptor fans, I'm happy, but the season does not end like that. But it was a good playoff run and a good season for the NBA season of 2025 and 2026 season of the Raptors. Big props to the players, RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes, and so many defense and offense, including coach DJ Narco. I think DJ Navaco did a good coach, and can't wait to see what's next in the next season. But they gave everything. The Raptors and the Raptors fan base gave everything. But the result is not the way it is to end with the Game 7 loss. And so, after 4 seasons, they made it to the playoffs. And now, Game 7 loss to the Cleveland Cavaliers with a 114 win and 102. And move on to the second round against. Who's against on the second round for the Cleveland Cavaliers? It's gotta be Detroit Pistons. Yeah, it's gotta be Detroit Pistons is next. Cavaliers versus the Detroit Pistons. Yeah, that's going to be is on the second round. Yeah. So good luck to the Detroit Pistons if they can beat in the second round with the Cavaliers, which if they can fill the shoes of LeBron James, his hometown of Cleveland, Ohio. Good luck. As a Raptors, well, I'm sorry, is kind of sucks, but the most memorable moment channeling is Kawhi Leonard, RJ Barrett in Game 6 last time. This shot by RJ Barrett in a 3-point long shoot, bouncing off the rim, one and done. Just like 1D with the Usos finishing move. One and done. Boom. So, force to Game 7 in the fourth quarter before time clock runs out in 4.3 seconds. Now, in a way like this in Game 7, yeah, that kind of bummed out. That kind of bummed out in the elimination for Raptors going home with a Game 7 loss to the Cleveland and winning the series 4-3 series with a 114 to 102. Well, there's always be next year for the Toronto Raptors and man Drake. Oh no. Oh no, oh no. Oh boy, Drake is gonna have not a very good season for the playoffs for the Raptors, and they did very well. They built a reputation, comeback for the Raptors, winning some great games and some are bad games where they bounce back. So I hope Drake will remember this. For it's not the same with the 2019 season, incredible season for Raptors, and I believe Raptors will be back next year. They'll be better and bigger things to come. So it's going to be off season for the Toronto Raptors. If they willing to stay or go somewhere, if they sign a different contract to a different team, be my guess. So we have to wait for the season ends at the NBA Finals. Well, the Raptors season is over with a 102 loss to the Cleveland with 114 win and move on to second round to face the Detroit Pistons in round 2. So, congrats to the Raptors for an amazing season, and they will be back next season with bigger things and better. Okay, next is the Blue Jays. Well, the Blue Jays in the Minnesota Twins, what they did very well. They win some games. First is April 30th with Twins win 7-1, Blue Jays loss, and Blue Jays bounce back on May 1st, 7-3, May 2nd, 11-4, and now yesterday in the NBC Sunday leadoff is not broadcast on Sportsnet and Sportsnet 1, 4-3, Twins win. So it's a tie series, 2-2 games. So nobody wins the series. So it's an even series. So next up is the Rays and the Angels that Blue Jays will play home will be in May 8th throughout May 10th. And Rays will be rolled back to Blue Jays. And now with the Rays in home in Tropicana Field, Blue Jays versus Rays on tomorrow game. And not tomorrow game because I'm recording on this Sunday. So it is today. So I can predict the score maybe 6-4 for the Blue Jays. Or prove me I'm wrong with that score because I'm not good with that predicting score. So Blue Jays Rays in 2 games in road trip, May 5th and 6th. No, it's May 4th and then May 6th, Monday, and then Wednesday is May 6th. No. I think it's Rays, and yeah, it's right. It's 3 games series in a road trip. Tampa Bay Rays, 4-6. And then back home in Blue Jays Rogers Center against the Los Angeles Angels and the Rays from May 8th to May 13th. in home games. So it's time to bounce back for the Blue Jays because they're doing good games and some not good games. Hopefully they bounce back for the Blue Jays before the All-Star break. So they're in 16 wins and losses, 18 in the AL East. Is the standings are in third place, top of with the Rays and Yankees. Orioles in 15-9, and Red Sox are 13-21. Man, in American League East. So they're in the third place spot with 16 wins and 18. Hopefully, they can win some games and get back to the second or first column if they continue to perform with the players, pitchers, and offense and defense, hitting bats, clutching like Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Kashimo, Kashimo, that that third baseman did outstanding. Well, let's see if the Blue Jays will continue their performance. All right, now also to add it, without the manager, Alex Cora was fired, Boston Red Sox coach, and Boston Red Sox they cleared up with the losses of games and with 13-21 in the last place. April 29 in the home game, 8-1 Boston Red Sox loss by 1 run game without the manager Alex Cora. Blue Jays outsmarts the Red Sox with 8 runs with a win. So, yeah, Blue Jays is still relevantly good, and they're in third place, 16-18 wins and losses. Let's see how it goes before All-Star break. Okay, now with the Stanley Cup playoffs. Well, Edmonton's lost in Game 7 to the Anaheim Ducks. The Anaheim Ducks' first playoff win. First playoff win. It's been a long time for the Ducks. Well, the Edmonton's are eliminated. So that score on the last game is 5-2. 5-2 in a exiting for Edmonton's playoff run is out. The Ducks is moving on to the second round. So the future Edmonton's, including McConnell McDavid, whenever he signed somewhere else or continue to stay with Edmonton by renewing the contract for 1 year, or Connor McDavid doesn't want to stay Edmonton anymore, and that is a major blow for this Canadian team, this Canadian captain, this Edmonton Oilers captain. A huge major blow of loss of Connor McDavid signed somewhere a different team. But I hope Connor McDavid will stay with Edmonton Oilers. I hope. That's what I believe. To stand with Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers will keep him here. Well, 5-2 loss to the Ducks, and Oilers are out in the first round with the series loss 4-2. The Anaheim Ducks wins and move on to second round. So next season for Edmonton Oilers, that is the question. The second, the Montreal Canadiens have won the series and finally eliminating the Tampa Bay Lightning with a 2-1 win on yesterday's game in May 3rd, Sunday, May 3rd, in a win and go home, Game 7. Montreal Canadiens scored 2 goals and Tampa Bay scored 1 goal. So 2-1 your final score on the yesterday's game, May 3rd, as of this recording, and moves on to second round. So the only Canadian team in Stanley Cup playoffs is Montreal Canadiens, are still alive and never ending off season. So the playoff for not Edmonton Oilers. Edmonton Oilers is done for the season with elimination by the Ducks with 5-2 loss to the Oilers and a win for the Ducks for this time. So 2-1, your Montreal Canadiens are still alive for the playoffs. Will continue for the second round. Tampa Bay Lightning out, and they will be against the Buffalo Sabres. That's going to happen. 2 respective teams are going to see this. The Canadiens and the Sabres in round 2. Can't wait to see this. By the way, the Buffalo Sabres, with the 4-1, exactly, Boston Bruins got what they deserve. Is out the playoffs, with Buffalo wins the series in total fashion. The Bruins are done. Buffalo Sabres got dominated and kicked their asses over Boston with the 4-1 win on last week, Friday, May 1st. And man, oh man, they will be playing to the Montreal Canadiens beginning on Wednesday, May 6th. And then Friday, May 8th on Game 2. So let's see how it goes for the Buffalo Sabres and the Montreal Canadiens. Who's going to win? And the respected teams are way better. Canadiens and Sabres are way better than the Maple Leafs. That's why I told you in the previous episodes in the past 10 seasons. I told you the Maple Leafs are officially done. They rebuild. They got rid of Brad Treliving. Brad Treliving is out, and now we'll place a new general manager from Arizona Coyotes, former general manager Jim, yeah. I don't know who that is. And you know from that player, Matt Sundin is now the advisor of Maple Leafs under the GM. That Sunday is a Maple Leafs advisor management. Yeah. So hopefully they can get their asses together with the Maple Leafs in favor of rebuilding, not repetitive every single year of Toronto Maple Leafs Stanley Cup playoffs failure after failure after failure after failure, couldn't get the job done. And Steve Dangle is fed up with this. Maple Leafs fan base are fed up with this. Playoffs after failure after failure after failure over and over and over. And now finally, the Maple Leafs season is tanked with lots of losses. Less wins, lots of losses. Now they finally did something. And learning their damn lesson, taken from different teams, is to blow it up. And thank God, after the playoffs run era is over for the Maple Leafs, throughout the failures in the previous 9 years, thank God it's over. What this insanity of playoff run, Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, John Tavares, William Nylander, every single Maple Leafs players and coaches who couldn't get the job done. It's continuing repeating the same result, the same failure every freaking year. My God Almighty, my God. Jesus. For the Maple Leafs, my God Almighty. They couldn't handle the humiliation of embarrassment of this team. That players have some balls to do something by scoring goals, by work out the offense and defense by shooting the puck in the net. And score more goals. Like Tampa Bay Lightning, like Florida Panthers, who had it and got it. So as Boston Bruins had it. Why wouldn't you take the example? Huh? Why won't you? You're doing the same failure every year. Same failure. Same result. The same offensive and defense continues the same thing. And Steve Dangle is absolutely fed up with this. Fed up. And Steve Dangle is very happy that the Maple Leaf season is over. This disaster is collapsed. Finally, after playoff run, failure after failure is over. Thank God. They finally got their own medicine and finally got their lesson by taking an example like Edmonton Oilers and Montreal Canadiens, Boston Bruins, and Dallas Stars. Look at them. They are going home in elimination. And so has the Maple Leafs, who couldn't get the damn job done. Which, by the way, I'm no fan with the Maple Leafs, so I'm a fan of Raptors and the Blue Jays. Always my Canadian team is the Blue Jays when I'm wearing this hat. My favorite forever team is the Blue Jays. And so, in general, I'm a fan of the Raptors. They did it better. Those two teams, Raptors and Blue Jays, were better than Maple Leafs. Better than the Maple Leafs. They have passion. They have a heart. They have decency, and they understand the analytics. The analytics is important. The analytics. So, next season for Maple Leafs, I hope you will take a lesson, a lot more lesson, by a new GM and under the new advisor, Matt Sundin, is going to punish for the Maple Leafs to make your life a living hell by learning this damn thing. How to win, how to take advantage. By taking examples like Edmonton Oilers, Montreal Canadiens, Buffalo Sabres, Anaheim Ducks, to show their passion, to show how good you are, to bring up this Toronto Maple Leafs and the Maple Leaf Sports Entertainment Group brings to the table of what you're supposed to do your damn job. Because people are sick and tired of this. And it's time to wake your eyes up and get your asses together and start doing your job by next season with your guts and passion. And enough with that failure. Enough with that same repetitive. You can't fall with New York Knicks. You can't fall with the New York Yankees that people talk about in the radio, doing the same result over and over and over and over and over. My God almighty. My God. Maple Leafs, you better do better next season. Because this season, they got deserve a huge tank of this season for the Maple Leafs for the 2025 and 2026 NHL season of the Maple Leafs. They got what they deserve. Inferior and hung over heads in shame, because this is absolutely well deserved for the Maple Leafs. And think about it in shame, what they done. So now with the Maple Leafs, Edmonton Oilers, Ottawa Senators are out in the playoffs. Except one, Montreal Canadiens. You're on the Buffalo Sabres on the second round. Let's see how it goes. This one is really interesting and way better than Maple Leafs. Trash season. So let's see how it goes from Montreal Canadiens and the Buffalo Sabres in the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And who's going to move on to the Eastern Conference Finals, Sabres or Canadiens? I go with the Montreal. But I love Buffalo. Buffalo Sabres. At, yeah, prove me I'm wrong. If Buffalo Sabres can win the series over Montreal Canadiens, but I gotta go stick with the they're a respectable team with the Buffalo Sabres. They rebuilded and they made it to playoffs after years of scratching and claw for 2004 or 5 or 3 since in the playoffs appearance. Buffalo Sabres made it back and they played against the Montreal Canadiens in the second round after beating the Boston Bruins in 4-1 win with the 4-2 series win for the Buffalo Sabres. And including the national anthem with the respect of Canadian between northern borders of US and Canada, despite with the villain sick Hitler, DJT destroying America and the United States with this outrageous and ridiculous unlawful war, Iran, and everything else collapse. Collapse in failure. As 47th President of the United States, former 45th and now 47th. Yes, DJT is in collapse right now. Hopefully, DJT will be gone soon by this year or end of this year. I cannot stomach the feeling that he's not going to finish his term for the second one. No way. He will be impeached by the time he's gone. He will be impeached for the third time. And this time, DJT will never stay in the White House to continue finishing his second term. No way. By 2028, no way. He will be gone, but once the Democrats secure the House and Senate with flipping the seats, DJT will be officially finished his second term early. Yeah, he will be impeached soon this year. There's no ifs, there's no buts. This is it for Donald Trump. His downfall continues. For the United States. All right, moving on with that DJT excuses. Yeah, we are waiting for the people to pop out the champagne once DJT is gone, or impeach, or in prison. I hope Democrats will finally take down that villain. Okay, everybody. So what's next on the Pine Show in the future? Well, I'm going to be taking time off the show for a month in favor of the FIFA World Cup 2026, which starts in 40 days next month in June. And I'll be there in a fan festival cheering one of the best country teams in football soccer club, Ghana, Canada, France, Argentina, or any country like South Africa or Jamaica. I think South Africa did not qualify, so Jamaica is. I'll be cheering them on country soccer team, Canada and Ghana, and going to be off the air for a month when I return to June next month. Okay, that will do it for the episode 10 on the Brian Show with Kwabena, Agyemang on YouTube channel, everybody. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at The Brian Show, including _. I'm Kwabena, Agyemang, everybody, and thank you for watching on episode 10, and see you on the next episode 11 next month when I return in favor of the prepare for the 2026 FIFA World Cup event beginning on June 11. So I'll see you next month in favor of 2026 FIFA World Cup. There's going to be a massive explosion. People are coming from different countries to visit in Canada and Mexico. There's going to be a lot of people packed, massive package, like visiting from different countries, Argentina or Italy or Jamaica, Ghana. Yeah, different international countries are going to jump in to see the matches in Canada, Mexico, except for the US, because we want to see that going on. So take care of yourself and stay safe, everybody, and have a great weekend and very well today, and good night from Brampton, Ontario, Canada. See you on episode 11 next month when I return new episodes right here on YouTube channel. Take care, everybody, and so long.
Gotta give, 'cause she gave me. Gotta love, 'cause she loved me. Sacrifice the sun to set me free.